Obviously, you're here because you're interested in how much it costs to live in France. Maybe you want to come here to study, or maybe you just want to slow down and live life abroad. There's so much to experience here, like the beautiful architecture, the fresh food, the history and arts. Well, it all comes at a price. So I'm going to be going over things like housing, phone plans, and much more. Now let's go talk money. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, my name is Sam. I am an American living in France and I create videos about life in France. So thanks for joining me today. I just wanted to say a little disclaimer. I am sharing my experiences of how much things cost in France. I live in Aix-en-Provence. I believe it is, I would say, in high demand. We have great weather here. It's a beautiful city, but all the prices, it is different wherever you go in this country. So Paris, for example, will be a lot more expensive than here, but I would say Aix-en-Provence is a little bit higher priced than other places you can find in France. So just keep that in mind while you're watching this video. I'm just sharing my experiences. So let's jump into this video. All right, number one, which is housing. Just so you guys know, we already did the conversions for you from euros to US dollars, so you don't have to worry about that. So we're gonna be giving you the US dollars price instead of euros. So we are currently staying in a 1-bedroom apartment. It's 40 square meters and we pay $900 a month. This is including all utilities, as well as we have a small garage that it includes. So if you are interested in actually knowing what our little 1-bedroom apartment looks like, I'll go ahead and link right here our apartment tour for you if you're curious to know what it looks like. I will say though that it is different in other parts of the country. So for instance, Paris is gonna be a lot more expensive than it is here. We actually looked some things up for you guys so you can kind of take a look at how much a 1-bedroom apartment would be in Paris. It ranges from $1,300 to $1,800 for about the same size apartment that we have here. So it's just like if you were living in California and you live in the Valley, or if you live in downtown Los Angeles, it's gonna be a lot more expensive in downtown area. So although Paris is more expensive than where we're living here, I would say that it is more expensive to live in Los Angeles. We were actually paying $1,400 a month for a 60 square meter 1-bedroom apartment. So the apartment was a lot bigger than it was here. And I will say we actually had a really, really good price. Usually 1-bedroom apartments in Los Angeles start at around $1,600. So that's just a little reference for you guys, and let's jump into the next one. So the next thing we're gonna be talking about is phone plans and the internet. I was shocked at the price difference here. We actually pay $15 for each phone line. That is amazing. And for the internet, we pay $18 a month. So it is a huge difference from back home. Back home, we were paying $60 each for our phone plan. And for internet, we had Time Warner cable. And just so you know, we had T-Mobile back in the US. But Time Warner cable, it was $50 a month for the internet. So it is a huge price difference, and for that, I am really grateful to have such a cheap phone plan. It's very, very nice. All right, so next up is food, grocery shopping. We actually just did a video on this, so if you wanna see like a grocery haul in France, I'll link it right here for you guys. But we pay $120 a week on our groceries. This is also including things like toilet paper, detergent, stuff like that. So the total comes to a month $480. So it is actually really, really similar to what we were paying in the US. So I would say that is a tie. We spend the exact same amount. So I'm sure you're curious about how much car insurance costs. Insurance here, we have a total coverage and we pay $48 a month for our little Pipita car, which is a big difference from our insurance in Los Angeles. We were paying $100 a month for total coverage. We did have a little bit of a bigger vehicle there, but it's still a big, huge price difference. So one thing here that is required is you do have to have renter's insurance. In California, you're not required by law to have that, so we didn't have that back in LA, but here it's just that small fee of $18 a month. So just keep in mind, if you are moving to France, you are required by law to have renter's insurance. And I know you all want to know about health insurance. This is a big topic to talk about, so I'm going to be doing a whole separate video on that. If you're interested in it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you can watch it when the video comes out. But I will go ahead and talk to you guys a little bit about health stuff like medicine and doctor's visits. One great thing is that doctor's visits here are just a flat rate of $30. Well, it has been a flat rate of $30 for Paul and I ever since we arrived here in France, and we have both been to the doctors a couple times. And if you go to Los Angeles and you are visiting the doctor's office, it usually will cost you about $100 just for a visit. So huge price difference there. And speaking of going to the doctors, when I arrived here, I actually went to the doctors to get some blood work done and an ultrasound. And for the blood work, I paid $150. And for my ultrasound, it was only $60. If you were to get an ultrasound done in Los Angeles, I looked up the prices, and it can range anywhere from $100 to $250 for the type of ultrasound that I got. So there is definitely a huge price difference in healthcare. That's why I want to do a whole separate video about this. But for medicine, my birth control pills, this was a huge surprise to me. I still don't have my health insurance here yet. So when I went to go get my birth control pills, I got 3 months for just $5. Actually, no, it was €5, so it was $8, just $8, which is amazing because a 1 month supply of birth control pills in Los Angeles would cost me about $30. The healthcare is just amazing here in France, even if you don't have the insurance. All right, let's jump into the next one. So next up is transportation. We get our gas from Carrefour, which is like a supermarket. We found that that's like the best deal in our area. And the price we pay is $1.50 per liter. Back in Los Angeles, we were paying $1 per liter, but I would say that it evens out because cars here in France are a lot smaller, so we're not using as much gas, as well as driving somewhere. Things are a lot closer, so we're not driving as much and using as much gas. So I would say it evens out. Next up is toll roads. The freeways are not free here, so you do have to pay a small fee when you go on the freeways, and it all depends on the amount of distance you go. So for example, driving here to Paris, you're gonna be paying about $70 for the toll roads. So that is something that I was not used to coming from America, but yes, there's toll road fees. So for those of you that take public transportation, it is going to be a different price where you're living in France, but here, the Aix-en-Provence and Marseille region, you can get a monthly bus train pass, and that is $87. Back in Los Angeles, if you get a month pass, it is $100. So it's still a little cheaper here for public transportation. And that about does it for transportation. So let's jump into the next one. So we are going to be talking about entertainment outings. I will say is that we haven't had a lot of experiences because of the whole pandemic, but we did have a couple that I can share with you. I will be talking about everything from going out to restaurants, to going out to a bar to have a drink, or going to the movie theaters. For the restaurants, I'll go ahead and start off with like the most expensive restaurant we've been to the cheapest. The first restaurant we actually went to that I'm going to be talking about is Breathe in Paris. It was so delicious. I loved this vegan restaurant. So we got an appetizer, 2 entrees. Paul got a beer, I got a cocktail. And what else do we? And we also got a dessert. So for all of that, we paid $78, flat rate $78, because you do not tip here in France. And if you do tip, it's not like the whole 20%. You can leave a couple euros for them. But yeah, so that's another thing about eating out, is you don't tip here. So another restaurant we visited in Paris was Burger Theory. They sell vegan burgers there. I would say it's kind of like equivalent to like Monty's Burger in Los Angeles. And we paid $37 for 2 burgers, 2 fries, and 2 drinks. It's not like your fast food McDonald's. It's a more high-end fast food restaurant, which is really good. So if you're ever in Paris, go to Burger Theory. And for example, for Los Angeles, Monty's Burger, which is also like a vegan burger fast food place, you would pay around $52 for the exact same meal that we got. So there is a little bit of a price difference for when you go out to eat, but I would say it's pretty similar to Los Angeles. Like if you're just gonna go to like a hole-in-the-wall sandwich shop, you would probably pay $10 for a full meal here. So it is pretty similar to LA. One thing that is not similar is going out to a bar and having a drink. When we were going out to bars here, we would get a glass of wine and a beer, and you would pay $8. That is just, I was so shocked when we first went to our first bar here. I was like, what, $8? That's not even a glass of wine in Los Angeles. Usually you'll get a glass of wine at a bar for $12. And a beer, I would say it ranges around $7 or $8. So there is a huge price difference, I would say, in drinks, because then you also have to tip your bartender. And for movie theaters, we did get to go to a movie theater when we arrived in France, and it is a little bit similar. Our movie tickets here are $12, and in Pasadena, where we were living, it was $17 to go to the ArcLight Theater. So there is a little bit of price difference, but it's pretty similar. All right, guys, so that concludes our monthly expenses of living here in the beautiful Aix-en-Provence. Here's a little reference for you guys so you can see our monthly expenses living here in Aix-en-Provence and Los Angeles. One thing I do need to add to this is that the minimum wage here starts at $12.50, and in Los Angeles, minimum wage starts at $15 an hour. So there is a difference there. And I will say that in Los Angeles, it's easy to get raises there. For example, a dog walk, I would charge anywhere from $20 to $30 for 1 hour. Depending on how many dogs I was walking. I don't see that here in Aix-en-Provence. I was looking into doing dog walking here. You can't get paid much here, so there is a huge price difference in what you get paid. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it gives you a little insight onto your monthly expenses living in France. And I'd love to know, if you're in other parts of the world besides France or America, what your monthly expenses look like. Please share with me in the comments down below. And as always, I appreciate your guys' support. It's just amazing. We're at 600 subscribers now, and we've been doing this for almost a year, and I love creating content for you guys, and I hope you enjoy watching it. So I'll see you guys on the next video, and I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day.